silence of mediocrity to disperse expansive, game-changing marketing wisdom. This is the Jeff Payne Show.
Reaching for a higher place than we can reach alone. Get up, get in, it's time to win. This is a Jeff Payne Show.
You've been told that building authority off your own website is the key to getting found by AI. Get mentioned by the right publications, get linked to the high authority sites, build your brand's reputation across the internet. And that's mostly right. But here's where most companies bleed budget without realizing it. They're building authority in all the wrong places, not because they're lazy, because they're aiming at a target that doesn't exist. Hello, I'm Jeff Payne, and you're listening to episode number 13 of The Jeff Payne Show. Today, we're talking about one of the most important and most misunderstood dynamics in AI search: visibility. The idea is simple. The sources that AI trust aren't universal. They're topic specific. And if your off-property authority building strategy doesn't account for that, you are spending money and energy getting noticed by the wrong audience. Here's what most businesses do when they invest in digital authority. They go after the biggest, most well-known publications. They pitch journalists at mainstream outlets. They try to get featured on high-traffic sites. They collect links like trophies. On the surface, that sounds like a solid plan. But Kevin Nindig and Amanda Johnson, two of the sharper analysts tracking this space, just published research that puts a number on why that instinct goes wrong. Their analysis, which draws from a real client data set, shows something that looks obvious in retrospect, but almost nobody is acting on. Ask AI about invoicing, and the AI leans on one of the specific sets of sources. Ask AI about starting a business, and it leans on a mostly different set. Same AI model, two topics, completely different source sets. In their sample, competitor domains made up 33.5% of what AI cited in invoicing-related questions. But for starting a business questions, the same source type only held about 7% of citations. That's not a rounding error. That's a near complete flip on who AI decides is trustworthy based on what you're asking. Now, you might be thinking, okay, different topics, different sources, makes sense, but what does the actually changing about what I do? Everything. Because the common advice is to build authority broadly, get mentioned everywhere, collect backlinks from anyone who'll give them to you, cast a wide net. But Nindig and Johnson's data set tells a different story. AI doesn't form a fresh opinion about your brand every time someone asks it a question. It borrows trust from the sources it already associates with a given topic. Your own website is an input. Your blog post count. But they're probably the weakest input in the mix. The publications, the analysts, the experts, the communities, the third-party sources that already trusted on the topic, those are what actually move the needle in AI citations. So two businesses can have identical website content, same SEO optimization, same keyword targeting, same blog cadence, and one gets cited by AI constantly and the other gets ignored. Why? Off-property reputation. The model already knows who to trust in with that topic. And if your brand isn't woven into those sources, you're invisible. There are two data points from this research that I want to hand to you directly. First, authority pays in steps, not in a straight line. A SEMrush analysis of over 1,000 domains found that the authority score is the strongest predictor of AI mentions. But the curve doesn't climb evenly, it bends. What that means for you? Getting a little more authority in a crowded middle tier probably won't change how often AI cites you. To matter, you need to be in the top tier of sources for your specific topic. 3 placements in a high authority source in your topic space moves you further than a dozen scattered low authority mentions. Second, the format of what you publish still matters, and it matters a lot. Their data on 56,000 cited source rows showed that how-to guides and roundups together account for 62% of what AI cites. Not thought leadership essays, not long-form opinion pieces, guides and roundups answer ready content that AI can actually use to respond to a question. If your content isn't structured in a way that answers a specific question, you're making it harder for AI to point to you. So what do you do with this? Not what do I do? What your organization needs to understand before it spends another dollar on PR, content, and digital authority building. There are 3 things I'd push you to sit with. Number 1, do you know which topic set AI associates your brand with? Not which topic or topics you want to own. Which topics AI already connects to your category? Because your authority building needs to start there, not from a marketing wish list. Number 2, are you building authority in the sources AI already trusts for that topic? Not the biggest names in media, not the publications your competitors mention in their press releases, the specific publications, analysts, and experts that AI pulls from when someone asks about your domain. Those are different lists, often very different lists. And if you don't know what's on the right list, all you're doing is guessing. Number 3, is someone in your organization publishing under their own name on this topic? Indig and Johnson noted something worth taking seriously. A named author with a track record, someone who's written across multiple sites, holds a professional credential, has a real LinkedIn presence, gives AI something to anchor authority to. A faceless brand post doesn't give the model much to work with. That's not a knock on your content. That's an architectural problem with how most organizations approach thought leadership. Here's the thing about AI visibility that most of the tactical advice misses. It's not a content problem. It's a reputation problem. AI doesn't reward effort. It rewards accumulated trust, the kind that builds over time, rooted in specific sources and topics. The good news is that trust is buildable. The bad news is that building it in the wrong places is expensive and invisible. You won't know it's not working until your competitors show up and AI answers and you don't. Kevin Indig and Amanda Johnson's research on this topic is worth your time. It's called Citation Gap Analysis, and it's published through Growth Memo. I'll put a link in the show notes. That's it for today. I'm Jeff Payne. If this made you think differently about where you're investing your authority, that's the point. I'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening to The Jeff Payne Show.
Find the complete archives of all episodes at jeffpayne.net or subscribe for free at Apple Podcasts and never miss an episode.
This program is copyrighted by Jeff Payne Incorporated. All rights reserved.
Each week we bring you a message of inspiration and hope, remembering that true hope is available to all through Jesus Christ.